What's the fastest way to ruin your YouTube reputation? Is it mixing fact with
Play Pal World with friends on your own dedicated server from Hostinger. Setting it up is fast.
What's the fastest way to ruin your YouTube reputation? Is it mixing fact with fiction when covering serious investigations?
That is half fiction, that is parallel to the real story, and then there's just the real story.
Or is it lying about catching predators so that viewers support you on Patreon?
You can watch mine back real good by supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description.
Or maybe, is it threatening and harassing other creators who didn't spread your message?
But I am being the nicest I could be. I could literally cancel you, Charlie, and I choose not to.
It's definitely that cringe shit. But oh my god, I get what he did. He said if you want to see the real catch, you have to join my Patreon. And that being said, hell yeah guys, welcome back to another episode of Teeth Daggers Reacts / Analyzes videos. Today we are going to be analyzing / reacting to the Internet Anarchist newest video at this time of the recording. How exposing Penguinz0 ended MamaMax's career by Internet Anarchist. Let's get right into it!
I'm the friggin' people hunter.
Perhaps the better question is, how did he get away with it not once, but multiple times? Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we'll be diving into the disturbing decisions that led one of YouTube's most respected predator hunters, MamaMax, to losing over 50,000 subscribers in January of 2024 alone, possibly ending his well-respected career on YouTube.
I consider them a liar.
He's a complete fraud, dishonest, exploitative. He was deceiving everyone all
Max's main channel, MamaMax, was created on the 26th of May 2016, with his first upload coming just 2 days later. However, judging from the comments, Max already had a dedicated fan base that loved him long before his channel existed, with comments reading, "We have missed you, Mama. Glad you're back. The king is back." The love and admiration towards Max only grew, as Max discussed themes of emotional distress in his Life Sucks series, which was meant to comfort viewers going through similar negative emotions. While there were light-hearted uploads like his Saving Game documentary series and his anime reviews, a majority of the subject matter on Max's channel was dark and edgy in nature.
Finally, this is so refreshing. A video that doesn't try to clickbait MamaMax's most recent adventures doing the predator catching as his downfall, or as his how he got famous. Finally, we have a video here. This is just being honest. They're like, this is how he got famous. There's been so many videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was so many videos coming out during this whole MamaMax thing when it first came out a couple months ago. That was like the dark, evil uprising of MamaMax. But you can see here, we don't even need to go to his channel. 3 years ago, he was getting millions of views. And it wasn't about that predator catching at all. But a lot of people would use that as clickbait. But this is why it's a video analysis, guys, because I guess I'm going to call out not clickbait so far, and that was the analysis. The reason it's not clickbait is because he's not fucking doing that weird thing that every other YouTuber was doing, saying the disturbing upbringing of MamaMax and how he lied for upbringing. Nah, dog, he was already popular.
Something that would only get worse with time. By the 27th of March 2020, Max uploaded the video cartoonincorporated.mp4, which would go on to set the tone for his channel moving forwards.
Today, you and I are gonna hunt some
The upload featured Max documenting his journey through the dark recesses of YouTube in search of users with malicious intent towards children.
I don't get how people maintain their fan base when they're switching their freaking channel up so much. We'll be switching our channel up on here, but the whole base of my channel is kind of a documentary about, we're like recording day by day what works and what doesn't work. So I stick to like a base. This is like live action, watching a channel grow, and I'm doing all the so-called experiments and shit, so I'm sticking to a base. How the fuck was he watching? Some people were watching his cartoon skits, and then all of a sudden they were like, alright, I guess I'm down for watching Predators. Fucking crazy, dog. I guess they just liked him.
At the time, YouTube was dealing with an overwhelming infestation of predators, and through videos like this, Max made it his mission to bring them to justice. Max's surreal editing style and provocative elements propelled the video to over 2.
Yeah, I tried to watch MamaMax's video. I hated his editing style. Fucking internet anarchist, if you're watching this, I like your editing style a lot more than MamaMax's. You're just being nice by complimenting him. That's why I'm subscribed.
2 million views, bringing in overwhelming support for his attempts to clean up YouTube, and Cartoon Incorporated was the first in a long line of so-called predator hunting videos that were uploaded to his channel, with videos like kidschat.net and mylol.apk receiving.
Oh fine, I got caught there, but I promise you, he was doing regular cartoon videos that fucking were popular before all this. I promise you guys. And anyway, I tried to watch a MamaMax video before. It wasn't about a predator, because I don't typically click on the predator shit. It was like a documentary shit, maybe about some game or something. And I couldn't stand how his pop filter was just a foam pop filter. And since he was using his deep voice, you would hear the and if you are getting this many views on YouTube, you can fucking pay for a good enough editing program to soften that. And so he wasn't editing it good enough. I don't know what the fuck this internet anarchist guy is talking about. I couldn't stand it. I would be able to stand it if he wasn't getting millions of views, but I was like, damn, for millions of views he has a pop filter problem.
Millions of views and hundreds of Patreon pledges, Max had found not just financial success, but an identity. At this point, Max had fully leaned into this edgy investigator persona that thrived from exposing predators. Unfortunately, this kind of content could get any creator in trouble with YouTube's strict moderation, and Max was no exception. On the 13th of September 2020, Max received a strike on his video titled "Hunting Predators on a Children's Dating App" for harassment. He responded to the situation by confronting YouTube about the decision to take down the video.
Where the fuck were you? Sipping on your venti frappuccino at YouTube HQ when I was in the trenches with them. I worked 3 long.
This is fucking lame as shit.
Hard, traumatizing months on this project, trying to fix the injustice that has been wrought on the internet, just for you to obliterate it completely. You treat criminals better than you treat your own creators. This is not the first time you protected pedophiles.
Dog, he's crying. What the fuck? He's crying so fucking bad. A lot of people, not just me, a lot of people don't even get paid on YouTube for all their fucking effort. And they're putting in a lot of effort because they're doing the strategy where they're trying to make really good quality videos, and they're taking months, and then they're only getting like, since they're a new channel, they're only getting like 6 subs at the most for those super good videos, because YouTube doesn't know where to push them yet, because they're a new channel. And maybe a lot months down the line, YouTube will figure it out, and then you'll be like, why am I seeing this on my recommended 6 years later? But then by that time, the person will probably already be famous, hopefully. But this guy's complaining about 1 strike on a nasty weirdo video he did, dog. And he's crying about it. Something about that is like hypocritical or contradictory. I can't quite explain it, but he made like a weirdo video and then he's like crying. It's like it kind of goes hand in hand. I just don't know how to explain it. And he's fucking not grateful.
Max would end his rant by asking his viewers to reach out to either YouTube or any other popular creators to get answers on why the platform was supposedly protecting us.
All I ask is for you to tweet Team YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, H3H3, Philip DeFranco, Moist Critical, Scarce, Keemstar, Markiplier.
But this obviously is all just for clout. He had a plan in mind right when he was doing this. He knew he was going to make videos on all those people if they didn't reply. This was a video series in the making. He just didn't call it video series. But it was like a secret video series in the making. It was all for clicks, all for views, all for time watched, all for drama. Like you'll be seeing on my content. I'll be trying to make some drama somehow. Maybe with a really small. I might need a really small content creator. Maybe one of you from chat will have to like make a fake YouTube channel. And like yeah, anyway, it was all just a plan, and that's why I'm disappointed in Anarchist, because he's making it seem like he's crying, and he is crying, but he's not crying because it was a plan. His crying is part of the plan. Even though he sounds like a bitch, and he sounds like fucking a loser, and ungrateful, and like a main character. That's the word I was looking for. But like, he doesn't know how he's coming across, but he is a really good YouTuber, and so he figures his hardcore fans won't give a fuck about how he's coming across. They'll view him kind of like a friend, and they'll be like, let's back up our friend. But I mean, his fans probably like Moist Critical more, which is probably why he knew his plan would work.
Or whoever your preferred voice to get through to YouTube is, with the message.
The hashtag AnswerUsYouTube almost immediately gained traction on Twitter, morphing into numerous viewers and creators making the black and white argument that either YouTube supported his cause or they were protecting predators. However, the situation...
Or they didn't want nasty weirdo shit on their site, especially that it didn't actually catch the fucking weirdos. YouTube knew that. They fucking were doing him a favor by not saying, well, you're not actually catching the weirdos, and he should have just shut the fuck up because he knows they were doing him a favor, but he wanted to use this as all a drama situation.
The situation was far more nuanced than that.
So when it comes to YouTube, and when it comes to the idea of, hey, is this site picking a side between protecting individuals that are predatory, and I feel that if you have predatory issues on your platform, you should use your platform to call out actual predators on the internet. Again, this content, some of the people that are making it sometimes will go above and beyond with their storytelling or their coverage, where they may unintentionally violate something TOS related. They may reveal personal information. They may show some. And in that case, YouTube has to act in favor of a predator. At least that's what it appears to be. It's not that YouTube, I think, is assisting any predators. It's literally because the content that is uploaded may not have been checked or screened hard enough, and YouTube has had to enact its TOS on that content.
27th of December 2021, Max had a...
I guess they did it for another reason. But also it's good because it doesn't ruin the case to get the predator thrown in jail.
Applied a second strike, and with it came another campaign against YouTube. While the goal of eradicating predators on the platform was a noble one, the methods at...
YouTube's good people. They want you to do good. The only reason they shadow ban people is because they get paranoid about those people. But if you can give them reinsurance and show them that you're not crazy, then they're gonna work with you, because they, after all, they just want people to watch your content. As long as it's like enough people, and as long so they're not gonna do anything to harm you unless it's against the rules, like nasty pedo shit,
Max
or preventing the law from doing their job.
employed were becoming increasingly more problematic. The video titled "Pick a Side.Win" served as a catalyst for getting YouTube's attention, and while it seemed well-meaning at first, the conversation quickly shifted to Max accusing YouTube of some very horrible things. The first portion of the video was a compilation of various creators sharing complaints about moderation on the platform. In contrast, the second half of the video saw Max borderline demanding that popular creators like Charlie, Philip DeFranco, Ethan, and Cop's husband spread the hash.
They do this auto copyright strike thing. Sometimes they actually strike you. I think both of mine are auto copyright striked without giving you any investigation. And then when you appeal it, they don't investigate it. They just right away say, fuck
XCL
you.
Clay said, Teeth, thanks for being live. Cash Corey wasn't live, so you saved me.
Woo! XCL Clay, hell yeah. Hopefully Cash Corey and I could bounce off of each other. So if you guys keep coming to this stream and people see it grows, then I can take the new viewers that I get and we can bounce them to Cash Corey. And then his stream, he gets like 15, 20 people, right? So then his stream will have 25 to 30 people after that. Then he could bounce those guys to me. Then people will start
Stay
saying,
Puffy 42,069 said, Teeth Daggers is on that grind.
yeah, everyday stream, no matter what. I don't even know how I'm going to move it out of this house. But, then people will see me with like 35 viewers, and I can bounce those 35 people to Cash Corey. And then Cash Corey, people will see Cash Corey with 35. His stream will get like 40, 50. And then
XCL Clay
it can keep growing.
said,
yeah.
Bounce back.
Bounce back and forth. I gotta tell Corey this plan. I just thought of it like randomly, but I think it'll be a really good plan. And that way me and Corey could get big enough to talk to other streamers with like 150 viewers. Like if we have 6...
XCL Clay said, Holy shit 3x smoke a bowl. Stay Puffy 42,069 said, That's 4 bowls right der. XCL Clay
But nobody
said,
followed.
NVM4X. XCL Clay said, Chanel points.
Oh.
Stay Puffy 42,069 said, XCL Clay channel points said, No 4. Stay Puffy 42,069 said, 4.
4. Copy that.
He even threatened Corp's husband to speak on the matter based on past personal issues.
Corpse, I know you have nothing to do with this, but with all of your power, influence, and the favor you owe me, I just couldn't help myself.
Yo, chat. If you live, people should.
XCL Clay said, If you're a viewer you get channel points and can spend them on the options that the streamer gives.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I just figured that out. Chat. If you're really, really, really good to people, part of being genuine is you shouldn't expect anything back. So, like, if you give something to someone, no matter what happens, you have to be, like, actually giving that to them from the bottom of your heart. Or if you do a favor for them, you can't use that against them. And that's what a lot of women mean by when they friend zone you. They think that you're doing these things to try and get something. and a lot of you guys
XCL
aren't.
Play said, damn teeth hitting the deep talks.
All of us. And a lot of you guys aren't actually meaning any harm. And you are being genuine, but you fuck up by saying, I did all these things for you. You owe me this. And there's a tough lesson in life. Nobody owes you shit. Now, they shouldn't ever tell you that because they should want to help you out. They should want to help you out, and they shouldn't ever, if they have the attitude where they say, nobody owes you shit, man, or hey, can you help me? Yeah, nobody owes you shit. It's like, I didn't ask you to, you don't owe me shit. I asked you straight up for help. Like, that's a different
XCL
subject.
Play said,
that's
real.
But that's how you be, genuine. If they come at you and say nobody owes you shit, man, be like, straight up, be like, nah, I'm straight up begging, I'm fucking asking you for shit. I'm in a tough position right now. But if they were good friends, they probably wouldn't say nobody owes you shit. But so unfortunately it does happen, even when you just ask for a favor. They respond with nobody owes you. It's like, I fucking know, I'm asking you for something. You don't owe me shit, I know. Everything I gave you is genuine, but everything you're giving me, you're viewing it as and that's why you view me as you shit. But it's really not like that. And that's the mistake Mama Max is making here. He's sounding like a bitch because he's saying, yeah, you owe me. He probably did a favor for him, and he probably did say, you owe me for this later. This is a really big favor. But it's still not genuine. It's still manipulative because he is choosing when he wants the favor to be paid back. That's not like he did it to be a friend at that point. That was like an evil plot, like, I'm gonna do this, and then later on, I'm gonna tell him he has to do this and thing for me. Dude, it's fucking disgusting.
So, remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend, and you kept trying...
Manipulative. But I know you guys see this. That's one bowl.
You brought me home to do you a huge favor, and then you threw me under the bus for something you did. So, how about you do me the fucking favor this time and talk about something besides your self-
The fucking favor this time. I'm such a tough guy.
Once. It will give you a good look.
To top things off, Max directly accused YouTube of loving predators.
For once, I'm agreeing with Internet Anarchist. I guess there's a one time for everything. I'm basically subscribed to him to call him out on his shit for my stream. But sometimes he doesn't have shit. Fuck yeah, Internet Anarchist. Boo Mama Max, dude. I'm seeing how lame he is. I know this is edited to make him look lame, but I already know the story, and I watched it myself too, and now, God, this guy sucks.
Tonight, YouTube.
I'm so jealous he had fucking millions of fans.
Choose, let die the pedophiles they love, or suffer for little children. And by the end of the night, I want Twitter to be a shitstorm.
Max was already crossing the line to get his point across, and it was only a matter of time before someone called him out for it. On the 28th of December 2021, Tommy C went live to YouTube to give his reaction to Max's Pick a Side video, and within minutes he had already identified the major pitfalls that were going unnoticed.
I have looked at it, I have all.
Let's see if they're the same as my major pitfalls that I've been calling out this whole time.
Also looked the way it was presented, this sort of us or them mentality.
I didn't call that one out, but I mean, sort of, because he was the way I said it, he was like, trying to manipulate them in order for him to. Oh, remember, I was like, he's gonna make content after content after content after content. I kind of explained it in really big detail, but he's still saying a little bit of a different thing right there. I just said it a little differently, but I think it equals the same outcome.
And the only time you use an us or men, or us or them type tactic is, in my experience, is so it's easier to cover up the flaws.
Tommy went on.
Oh, I said the clout, but he's like, it's easier to cover up the flaws. But how? What am I missing? I wish they showed more of that guy talking.
To point out the fact that Max framed things as.
I guess I was wrong. Me and him had different points.
Either you agree and support our cause or you're a predator, as well as stating that the campaign
What about my point? I think my points were good too, though.
was more about Max and less about the children he claimed to protect. Before Tommy could fully go through the video, Max entered the stream chat and demanded that they entered a call.
I just was informed MamaMax is interested in talking, and he's in waiting call right now.
Well, he's gonna have to wait because I'm going through this nightmare. And I said I've only skimmed some of it. I want to get a live reaction to this. This is the way it's being presented right here.
Hey, Tommy, can you pause it real quick?
Sure.
MamaMax is in the chat trying to bait you to bring him on. He's saying, wish we could have talked like adults, man.
Talk like adults? You didn't make a fucking video like a fucking adult. Don't give me this. You should have contacted me ahead.
Oh, I feel like this guy's copping out a little bit.
At a time. By the way, did we go through something like this last year? Your time's up. And you know what? You're going to wait until my show's done instead of you coming in here and throwing one red herring after another to trying to get away from...
Because if he was sure he could win the debate, he would use that for more content. Unless he just really doesn't give a fuck about the content and does not want to have that weirdo on there.
The fact that this is slop.
By the time he was done reacting to the video, Tommy was firmly in the opinion that Max was trying to use other creators to promote his guideline disputes with YouTube and
oh, that's kind of what I said.
Used the veil of children vs predators to cover his intent. With that being said, one section of Max's video stood out to Tommy above all. Specifically, when Max used a clip of Tommy but never actually reached out to him to cover the story.
So, again, I'm gonna have to upset all of my
I get in here. Unbelievable. You know what? You know what that tells me? He didn't send me the fucking DM because he knew I would see right through it. He knew I would expose him, and he figured putting me at the end, this is a threat. This is a fucking threat.
When Max was questioned on the Half-Baked podcast about the objective of the hashtag pick a side movement, he immediately dodged the question.
3, 2,
you use it to try to reach
1,
bigger YouTubers.
0. Fuck yeah,
is any
stay
of
puffy.
this like this is a way to make my channel go to the next level?
No, I think my channel get taken down for making a video like this. Everyone's saying be careful. I'm like, don't let your channel get terminated. I want to see some progress, specifically with YouTube and us.
Ultimately, Max had got everything he wanted. Pick a side, YouTube had taken over online discourse, his platform was flooded with new supporters, and YouTube provided him with a channel manager. However, that outcome led Max to believe two very destructive ideas. One, anyone that questioned him, his mission, or the methods he used was to be labeled a predator. And two, the quickest way to spread the message was to get other established creators to signal boost it. Nothing illustrates the first point better than how Max attacks the reputations of both Magnetar and Tommy. His video titled Believe All Abusers, which was meant to debunk allegations from his ex-girlfriends, devolved into an attack of the YouTuber who posted them, Magnetar. While the allegations and claims from both parties are concerning, I'd like you to focus on how Max used his platform and status as a quote predator hunter to confidently label Magnetar as one. Worse still, he did it with little to no evidence besides the testimony of one witness, doxing Magnetar in the process.
Anthony Field, Haley's boyfriend, Magnetar on YouTube, the one who published this video on.
What a fucking backstabber, dog. Magnetar and stuff. I think oh, was it Magnetar? Oh no, it wasn't. Never mind, cause wrong. I was thinking of Mudahar.
To back up these claims, Max shows a long list of DMs and the claims of one girl.
He graduated high school, and he was an adult. He sent his to a high schooler who was around 14 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was what he was chasing. What the fuck? How is he still around?
old or 15 years old. We were like hanging out and she's like, this guy sent me his we're like kids, so we're just like, oh my god.
Max goes on to state that the evidence on Magnetar is insufficient to build a case, despite claiming he's had hundreds of victims.
But I've not made a video on him, despite wanting to all these years, because I do not want to harass them, and I feel this is not enough evidence to build an entire case against him. So I have not and will not until we have more proof. We know that he has multiple victims spanning the past 8 years, and if anyone wants to come forward, email me with the subject line, Anthony Field.
Accusing people of being predators wasn't always something Max did directly, as seen in his response to Tommy C. During his documentary titled, "This is What Happened to a Child Predator" on TikTok, Max took out some of the video's runtime to gloat about the success of Pick a Side YouTube and demean Tommy C for going against them.
From the very DNA I designed the Pick a Side campaign, we impelled the mobs to howl our message into the high heavens, some with a bit more salt than others.
While showing out-of-context clips of Tommy that made him look crazy, Max sprinkled in over 15 QR codes that contained messages meant to put down his opposition and imply they were a predator. These accusations wouldn't go unnoticed by Max's community, as both Tommy and Magnetar received ample harassment from them over the years. The power was already clouding Max's judgment, and if he deemed a message your case was worth sharing, then it was going to be shared by every creator he knew, whether they liked it or not. Sadly, that tactic only worked the first 2 times. By the time he went for the 3rd attempt, people began looking into his claims more seriously, and what they found upended Max's entire career. On the 27th of October 2023, following a 4-month hiatus, Max renamed his channel to God Cult, unlisted all his previous uploads, and published a video titled "Brainwash Your Favorite Influencer."
Welcome to your programming. Kindly send this video to your favorite influencer. We will test them on the content of their character.
Hey, I actually can't hate, because eventually I'm going to need chat to go into one of these live streamers that's going on and like make them like them, and then be like, casually be like, why don't you like teethdaggers stream? Why don't you watch teethdaggers YouTube video? Hopefully it'll work. And I don't know how many chatters we'll need for that, but we can fucking try it next time we're doing something casual and the stream happens. Maybe Cash Corey blows us up again or whatever.
Do not listen to their words. Look at their actions. Let us begin.
After priming viewers with several philosophical questions, Max details a story of a girl whom a werewolf cult leader allegedly victimized.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god.
Max spent the rest of the video trying to provoke his audience into reaching out to larger channels that could help spread Spencer's testimony. Although the claims made in the video were shocking, Max had provided almost no evidence to support them. It was as if Max expected the internet to pick up the story based on the statements of a single individual. By now, viewers had begun to connect the dots, and the comment section was flooded with aggressive criticism towards Max. In a bid to turn the public opinion in his favor, Max disabled the comment section and directed viewers to a live stream on Spencer's channel to further elaborate on the case.
It was basically a supernatural cult where he convinced all of us that we were vampires, werewolves, hybrids.
I think this was all a skit. It was a real person, but I think it was like overplayed. But I did end up seeing real videos with or interviews of the same lady, so I guess there was something weird involved. But that being said, we also have seen where this whole vampire skit idea came from. There actually was a crazy murderer, raper, or fuck, I can't say that on YouTube, shit. There was actually a crazy murderer, bad guy, who did convince people he was a vampire or whatever.
Celestials and all this shit, like, and then he would sit there and claim that he knew God, and then there was one point in the cult where God was dead and he was the new God.
The stream was 4 hours long and mostly featured Spencer's account of a time in the alleged werewolf cult. The extreme duration of the stream and the lack of substantial evidence put many of the viewers off from interacting with it, which was something Max couldn't tolerate. On the 11th of November 2020,
I didn't like that. I think I was watching that too because it was an interesting title. And the minute it was just a camera zoomed in on a lady talking, I was like, this is fucking way boringer than the title.
3. Max published the video titled, "This is what happened to MamaMax," where he vented his frustration at the lack of support from his viewers and fellow content creators, at times mocking both parties for not seeing the significance of what he was creating.
If PewDiePie can come back and talk about Sniper Wolf, then he and others can talk about the nightmarish realities that millions of children are enduring.
Dog, PewDiePie is retired. He just does what he likes to do now. Shut the fuck up.
Every day. Last week, I released a charity video in collaboration with the survivors of a destructive cult that has victimized hundreds of minors. Despite its significance, it turned out to be the worst performing video on my channel.
The black and white thinking from previous campaigns was on full display as Max berated the online community for not joining him on another crusade of internet chaos.
Dog, because it wasn't a fucking documentary or anything. It was just a lady, like, basically telling a story, and then you wanted people to assume that it wasn't a story. And then you came out later saying, well, it was just a story, but still.
I had hoped that influencers, especially those who've interacted with my content before, would step up, even if it was part of a more lighthearted stream, like a Halloween special. Unfortunately, it seems that self-preservation outweighs child welfare for most influencers.
No, dude, nobody wants to fucking be involved with that fucking weird shit, and, like, that's not their niche, dog. Dude, this guy's so lame as shit.
Max was fixating on metrics and negative feedback instead of trying to handle the case properly, or at the very least, explaining it coherently. To many, it seemed like this case wasn't about the victims of abuse, and instead was about Max getting the recognition and praise he thought he deserved. This line of thinking was further supported by Max's.
That's exactly what it was for, the clout. He wanted to be up there with all those names he named, Mr. Beast and PewDiePie and Moist Critical. He's like, I deserve it. I'm a baby.
Next upload, titled, "This is the greatest cancellation of all time," at Penguinz0, now retitled, "Reacting to the reactions of SS Sniper Wolf's actions." The video was another desperate grab at attention, but this time, Max implied that the issues he discussed were far more important than what anyone else had to say, and therefore, other creators were obligated to talk about it, especially Charlie. Max had reached out to Charlie concerning the case before, and wasn't going to stop until he got a reply.
Charlie, you are a voice heard by millions. We reached out hoping for a private response at the very least. Your platform has the power to drive significant change, yet many voices remain unheard.
Dude, because he knew you would show the private response, you fucking dum-dum. And guys, if you are enjoying this video reaction / analyzation, but it turned to more of a reaction because I'm just agreeing with this motherfucker and I'm being genuine. Usually I don't, but right now I am. And if you're enjoying it, make sure to click that follow button, and maybe if you want to support the stream so we can get a new graphics card, click that sub button, yo.
Amid the digital clamor, you've built a platform that resonates with a vast audience. A platform that has the incredible potential not just to entertain, but to empower. Your voice can reach corners of the internet that many of us cannot, making you not just an influencer, but a potential catalyst for much needed awareness and action.
There were many things Max could have done to get the word out, but trying to guilt others into doing it for him was the worst way possible to handle it, something that he would immensely regret in the coming months. To offset the criticism and explain his actions, Max went on a now deleted stream titled Fight Me to discuss the points being made against him. However, that didn't work well for them, as Max and Spencer were mostly condescending towards the critics while putting their message on an untouchable pedestal, a stance that only alienated people they were trying to convince.
And just overall, it's one of the strange.
Yeah, that always turns people over, turns people away. And them being famous YouTubers, they should know that psychology by now.
Strangest, weirdest videos and kind of guilt-tripping people in.
That sense of society, that's funny.
Into doing the same type of content he's making when most of us, and actually.
Alright, I'm not trying to guilt trip y'all. I am telling y'all the truth, the objective truth. There are millions of children that are...
Dude, nobody wants to hear this fucking content over and over again. It's the truth and it's intense and it's... People aren't always trying to be intense, you stupid motherfucker.
enslaved that need our help.
Charlie's brief response to the situation a few days later only added to the growing outrage towards Max.
Stop ignoring Mama Max. Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation.
Hell yeah,
and then
Buffy.
Apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it. And now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. And it really rubs me the wrong way.
Unfortunately, that wasn't enough to make Max reconsider his actions, as he continued to go live to talk about the case while refusing to give any evidence or answer questions directly.
Just because Charlie is a big YouTuber, there shouldn't be an expectation.
How is lyrics so, dude? Lyrics was fucking so small, like, and now he's it's just because people just keep putting him on their fucking channel. When are these motherfuckers gonna put me on their channel?
That he should be able to cover, like, child fucking, like, or child trafficking or human trafficking. You know, that's ridiculous to try to push that onto him, and you're doing it very in a manipulative way.
Spencer, what do you think?
Who cares about Spencer?
I'm so fucking jelly as fuck.
Spencer, you're the guy with the fucking platform. I'm sorry, all due respect, but I don't give a fuck about this person's opinion. You're the one of 760k subs. What the fuck?
Max was clearly not ready to have a productive dialogue on how to go about the case, and instead wanted to garner more publicity and donations by interviewing survivors on stream or threatening other creators to cover it. Max was prioritizing getting more eyes on the investigation, but he failed to realize that it would lead to more scrutiny around all his previous investigations. Users on Reddit began taking a closer look at Max's catalog and made several chilling observations. Reading, "I think MamaMax has faked some of his content. This may be already obvious to some folks, but it's wild to me that he insists these are real situations. There's so many story conveniences and coincidences in his videos," as well as Max's mega upload suspended and reported to law enforcement, with the account being taken down for possible child exploitation material. From uncovering inconsistencies in his previous uploads to finding objectionable content in his mega folders, users were poking noticeable holes in Max's facade as a predator hunter. However, it was Max who truly tore down his reputation. On the 5th of January 2024, Max started what would now be known as the worst and longest live stream of his career. For the first half of the 8-hour stream, Max interviews 2 new survivors, while deflecting critical questions from viewers about what he was doing.
Keg says... Keg keeps donating. Why are you supporting this if you disagree with it? He said, clearly more interested in virtue signaling and moral support than fixing peds. I'm outie. Camden is nothing. Small fry. Way bigger systems out there.
I wish people would donate to me to say they're outie, but nah, fuck that. I would rather my stream grow. But damn, they donated just to say they're outie.
That's very disrespectful, and he is part of the system just as you are, just as we all are.
When the viewers weren't able to get through to Max, his close friends and fellow creators called in to talk some sense into him, but sadly, that didn't work either.
There's a way to present this, there's a way to handle this before you get to that point, right? And that's what we need to be focusing on. That's like where everything needs to be centered on, is where I'm at, and that's all I really can say about the situation.
Dude, okay, some ordinary gamers needs to learn how to speak better, to because this person is just gonna be like stuck in his head, like, since he views everything as factual and he views himself as being like the most factual motherfucker, and he's convinced himself these cases are real, or maybe he's seen his plan fall through and he's saying, well, fuck it, the plan's falling through, so I'm gonna try anything. Or like what I was saying, he's like super convinced. So you have to really be gentle with the way you talk in order to get these people, even if you're their friend, to like snap out of it, because it's scary admitting that this, after all this time, boom, all 5 of those videos were mistakes. But if you would have admitted that, oh yeah, I just lied on all 5 of those videos, fuck, I made a mistake, and just quit it right there and let some ordinary gamers get to his head, he would be in a better position right now, I think. Well, I guess he was talking to 14-year-olds, but if he wasn't doing that either. But instead, I bet he's going to argue with some ordinary gamers and not take his constructive criticism.
Okay, so I would have really appreciated this like 2 months ago when we first reached out. I reached out to you and multiple other creators asking for help, and none of you were responsive. I understand y'all are busy and doing your own things, but this is the first time I've ever handled a case of this complexity and magnitude, and that is why I was asking for help.
If you go to police and they say, okay, yay, we're going to go get him or whatever, I don't know, live in a dreamland, whatever you want to feel, are you going to court after that?
I'm unsure about the entire process. I think that's the job of the district attorney, but the survivors would likely appear as witnesses.
Okay. What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes?
To cover his blunder, Max immediately made the stream private.
Oh shit. She just played chess with him on purpose. I didn't even see that coming.
And threatened to flag channels that re-uploaded it, with a tweet from Lyrics reading, "MamaMax just threatened to flag my channel. Shortly after our debate last night, he DMs me at 2 AM, asking to censor/take down my stream because of a privacy complaint he has, and I complied, but then accuses me of bullying victims, not true for your information, heavily implying he's going to flag me. The recent streams weren't the only thing Max was trying to hide, as he either deleted or unlisted his previous uploads. Unfortunately for Max, there were 2 videos on the horizon that he couldn't strike down, both containing information that revealed just how badly the investigation was going. From the 17th to the 18th of January 2024, Nicholas Diorio and Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers would publish their respective hour-long reports on Max's investigation. Nick's video came first and mostly explored the unethical practices.
Okay, so Mudahar is actually the backstabber in that position because they're supposed to be friends, and Mudahar is going to take the position of, oh, I'm just trying to be transparent, but he's hiding his transparency behind just trying to make a video about it. And since that's probably the truth, he's able to say, well, they're both the truth. And then, I guess he's trying to cut off his friendship with Max, so I guess it wouldn't be backstabbing. But dude, if he's making a video about it, unfortunately, Mudahar is the backstabber. He should have said, my friend is wrong, and he's a fucking idiot. But or he shouldn't have said shit, I guess. He did the friendly thing by not saying shit in the first place. Damn, this guy wrote his own grave then, because Mudahar actually made the first choice not to say anything. Then this guy complained at Mudahar. Then Mudahar said something. Then this guy didn't like what Mudahar said, but Mudahar couldn't agree with this. It would be impossible because he knows too much about it. Oh, I get it. Mind blown.
that had infested Max's investigation, one of which was Max's conflict of interest when it came to Spencer. Spencer was a close family friend who was now living with Max, receiving income from his streams, and was put in charge of handling funds that would be allocated to the other 7 known survivors. Next, Nick looked into the convoluted information given to the viewers during the God Cult campaign, concluding that Max had never fully explained what exactly the werewolf cult was, or even given it a name. Then, there was the matter of the previous investigations having either inconsistent information, weak evidence, or none at all, which led Nick to speculate on whether or not any other predators were actually arrested.
I don't give a shit if my video comes back up. It did what it needed to do. The rapist that was in the video is currently in police custody.
Was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because of the video. I don't know if the police asked him to come back, or he went on his own volition, or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
Throughout the video, Nick included snippets from a Discord call between him, Muda, and Max, which showed Max's unwillingness to confront reality.
Yeah, why are you putting it all on me?
Because it's your case!
The one bringing it!
Dude, he's not having an unwillingness to confront reality. He's like... Okay, so when somebody is making a super embarrassing mistake the whole time, it's easier to try to double down than admit that you made the mistake. It's easier to be like, no, you guys just aren't seeing my point. Why is everybody attacking me? Everybody's against me. I'm the genius here. I'm the odd man out. And it happens to the best of us. It's a hard thing to escape. But to be the real odd man, you actually have to take your close friend's advice, and fucking if they're saying, dude, we're your close friend, listen, we know you're not crazy, this was just an embarrassing mistake. Right now, take this time and just maybe don't do an apology, because you know how YouTube works, but just cut it out completely, save yourself, and then listen to our advice here on stream. And if you listen to our advice here on stream, you'll see an anti villain, and you'll start to seem good to some people, and you can start rebuilding your career from there. And maybe people will stop looking into you as hard and stuff, but he's not doing what this guy said. Similar. But, nah, he's just, basically in mass embarrassment, if there's a word for that. And he's changing it to how he's the victim.
Why are you
Absolutely. I am the first one.
Yeah.
You
are the only one. You haven't convinced anyone to come on board yet.
You haven't convinced exactly.
That's
you haven't
because
made
you haven't been listening to this.
That's because you haven't been giving anybody anything to work with.
Like this for months.
Yeah, and I've had a 2-hour-long call, and I'm not moving anywhere close to the situation.
Muta, why can't you take initiative to talk to other survivors?
Well, I'm talking to you right now more than anybody else.
Shortly after, Muda published his take on the subject and covered similar points to the ones Nick made. However, Muda made sure to shed light on the incompetent tactics that Max built his case on. According to Muda, the investigation into the werewolf cult had not yet yielded enough evidence to support Max's outrageous claims. Remember, Max was accusing someone of serious crimes against hundreds of children, but only gave spoken word testimony to back those accusations.
In the same video where he is discussing very serious allegations and very, very serious stories regarding victims, you can imagine why a lot of people are looking at this as him treating this as a joke. It's not a joke. This is serious. And in reality, what are people like Mr. Beast? What are people like PewDiePie gonna do? What are you gonna bring his kid into this? What, he's a father now, so he's not going to signal boost unsubstantiated claims?
As his credibility faded away, Max was frantically trying to shift the narrative with his "I place accountability in my own hands" video. You'd expect the title and thumbnail to be followed by a straightforward apology from Max, but that wasn't what viewers got. Instead, they were treated to 15 minutes of Max avoiding the mess that he had created.
I've got people telling me just talk about the case and nothing else. I've got people telling me just address the criticisms. I've got people telling me just apologize. I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy. People say, just wait for law enforcement to do something. But we've waited 7 years and they haven't done anything. So we decided to just go public with it and put eyes on him. And people wanted evidence, so we've been inviting people to our little server where we have the evidence. But then people don't want to listen to the survivors when they're in there and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing.
Max
Because there wasn't evidence.
wasn't fooling anyone with that approach. Members of the audience that once defended Max were now begging him to either tackle the case professionally or drop it. And you know there's a problem when comments have more
Whoa, I was telling him the same thing. Drop it.
likes than the actual video itself. Max's subpar apology was only a ploy to sway public opinion, and it was failing horribly. Pair this with the fact that there were Discord leaks of him threatening legal action against Muda, and it is no wonder why the apology fell flat, with a text reading, "Spencer and I are considering a class action lawsuit against Mudaha for breaching our non-disclosure agreement. He's extremely rich, so the lawsuit seeks $1 million in damages to be distributed between you all." This goes on to show that Max's priorities weren't aligned with solving the case, but rather he was solely set on maximizing personal gain. From the 19th to the 21st of January 2024, Slug, Max's former editor, took to YouTube and Reddit to leak footage of Max saying what he truly thought about people like Charlie.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to.
You can't. You're a psychopath. You're laughing to yourself in front of the camera on purpose because you're trying to put on this weird Joker persona. What a fucking weirdo, dog. Luckily, it's getting to the Charlie part.
It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter. Like,
watching Max say things like,
it's true though, dude, I hate this fucker guy, dude. Can't stand him.
This would lead anyone to the conclusion that he had lost his grip on reality, and assumed his status as, quote, gave him the power to cancel other creators, something that would only become more apparent. Around the time the leak from Slug went live, news broke that an anonymous Discord user had infiltrated Max.
No, that's not it. I think he was trying to hint at Charlie could be one of his victims.
Max's private investigation server, leaking all the evidence he was saving for the legal case. Apparently, they were able to enter the server by pretending to be a survivor, and were given full access after signing an NDA.
I know you are dealing with a lot of harassment and going through a lot of stuff. Is it possible you could invite me to the Discord server where the other victims are? I want to share my story in a place where I can feel safe and not be doxxed or harassed. Yes, we can invite you. Thank you. Again, you have done so much for the victims. I'm blessed to have met you, and I hope Camden can finally face justice. For the safety of the server, may I please ask for your full name? My name is Max Stryker. It's a pleasure to meet you. They give a voice message and then say Jamie Fields, which is a fake name. But that's the only verification that Max has done to allow some random shitter in his Discord server to see all of the evidence. All you have to do is just play the part decently well, say that you were fucking abused and diddled by Camden, give a fake full name, and boom, you see all of the fucking evidence that he's protecting for the legal case, and then spreads it out to the internet to see.
As you'd expect, Max was flagging videos that mentioned the leak to cover up this blunder.
MamaMax, in his evidence-like Discord server, is...
This game, you're not ready for it.
Now, like, flagging and telling his whole, server, which granted, his server is probably, only, 20 people, 30 people max, but, he's now enforcing his whole server to go report and flag it seems like my VOD, it seems like, Mr. Sen's VOD, anyone who's talking about...
Hell yeah, my Discord server is bigger than his.
About the leaks, he's now reporting or flagging. and like outright calling for that. Seems like this guy spends more time fucking doing this shit than actually trying to catch Camden on his case.
There was no way Max could feasibly hide this fiasco, as more and more of his secrets were going public with each passing day. On the 3rd of February 2024, Nicholas returned to cover the MamaMax situation through the upload titled, "This video will make you hate MamaMax," which brought forward an obscene amount of damning information from Max's past. Alongside his coverage of Max's blunders from the previous weeks, Nicholas detailed how Max maliciously destroyed the career of a former friend and supporter, NightDoc.
NightDocs, or Jim, was a proud MamaMax supporter during the Pick a Side YouTube campaign, so much that he called in to actually debate me 2 years ago and defend Max's character from scrutiny. Like Max and many of their mutuals, Jim is a video essayist who makes long-form content. He was also firmly in the friend group of Max, Nexpo, Mudahar, and others just a few short years ago. Now I'm sure you're wondering, Nick, what happened to this up-and-coming YouTuber with all of these widely successful friends and connections? The reality was, NightDocs was cast out of his social circle because Max spread rumors that he was a bad father, a creep to women, and worst of all, a pedophile.
It seems Max didn't limit the predator accusations to just his enemies, but also his friends. You might be wondering why Max never made these accusations public given his previous job title. Well, it was because he didn't have any evidence to back it up besides his testimony.
So regarding Jim, there were 2 specific stories that Max really harped on when it came to NightDocs, at least whenever we had our little, I guess, falling out. So Max was convinced that Jim was this pedophile creep, and he backed up this claim with firstly a story about an inappropriate conversation that he claimed Jim had with a minor. As it turned out, this deal,
Max was not just making baseless accusations, but he was making them on a friend that defended, housed, and fed him for months. Accusations that separated him from his
And MamaMax is a is a freaking backstabber. This is just a big story of a bunch of backstabbers. Trying to get to the Penguinz0 part.
His friend group, and almost pushed him over the edge.
When I lost all my friends, I just went away from YouTube and all that. Like, I just lost all of my self-esteem. I just felt like I was like irredeemable. There was something wrong with me that nobody would ever want to be around me. And I had no idea what it was that I did, but I was like, I'm obviously just a piece of shit.
So you'd say this impacted your career, I guess?
Absolutely, it impacted my career. I completely fell off. I ended up hospitalized. Like, I genuinely ended up hospitalized. I came within hours of doing something very permanent and very stupid. It was the last straw.
To add a cherry on top, Nicholas included the full Discord call he and Muda had with Max, which really allows you to see how deviously Max used his past credibility and platform to justify his unethical behavior. The call started normally, with Muda and Nicholas trying to get to the bottom of the Camden case. However, once they inquired on why evidence hadn't been shared with other creators, Max said,
"Yes, so I would like to explain my position on this."
Sure.
So the purpose of the NDA is to protect the survivors. That is why the NDA protects their anonymity and for them to be able to give the approval of what they want to share. But we do want to let people in and see what is occurring here. It's just my priority has been to protect the survivors.
It's just all for content. That's what his priority is for.
Minors, or come on,
it's comparable to Anthony Field with multiple testimonies against him. It's comparable.
Basing such a serious case on accusations alone was a recipe for disaster, and Max was too blinded by glory and money to see it. Now, he's lost both things he valued the most. Max's entire career was based on the fact that he was going after the most vile predators.
Fine. It's clickbait. Almost none of this video had anything to do with Penguinz0, yo. What the fuck? I was finally ready to be like, Internet Anarchist didn't clickbait. But he put Penguinz0's name in here. Almost none of it was about fucking Penguinz0. And that's why.
Find me at twitch.com/teethdaggers.
You guys shouldn't hate when I make clickbait videos because it's one way to grow your audience. The only reason this guy doesn't get hate for clickbait is because it's not as see-through, since he has freaking 65,000 subs. So people are kind of just like robots, and they automatically are like, wow. But also maybe they see through it and they're like, that's still a good video, which is why I'm subbed to him. But there it is. It's clickbait. It turned into a video analysis after all. That's the final say. Completely clickbait. If you guys like that video and want to watch it in its entirety, type in how exposing Penguinz0 ended MamaMax's career.
Yeah. What you know about a 600 V12 CL spinning on them street wheels, dirty as hell like fuck a detail. Still knocking female, Mac that bitch till she break her lead nails on the track in the TL. Yup mouth, first week out 80,000 on the street sales. Now I'm CEO, that's $7 on the retail. Bitch, I got niggas popping they collars, popping e-pills.
If you guys enjoyed that episode of teethdaggers Analyzes Videos, make sure to subscribe below.